Hello and welcome everyone again into another video. In today's video, I had a solid run with this team. I literally had like 2-5-0s, 1-4-1, and 1-3-2. And I'm sure like the 3 games I lost, all of them was like me throwing the game. I believe this is the best Ultra League Premier Cup team that I came up with. And I talked to Smash King, and we both were like, okay, I'm playing this team. And he's like, yeah, this is basically the same team. He's playing with different movesets, so stay tuned or check his live stream whenever he goes live. The team is basically, as you guys can see, Dragalge, Jellicent, Shadow Drapion. Why Shadow Drapion? Because 2 crunches can KO Swampert, can KO Empoleon, can even KO the Dragalge, the opposing Dragalge if it's a Swag Tips IV. Why? So here they swapped into Walrein. So the plan is catch the Icicle Spear on Jellicent. And since I landed a move, technically I can go straight Shadow Ball at this point. And I don't need to kill it after that. After that is just whatever. Because technically the Chestnut is not going to do anything. I have 2 answers. And if you have Hex here, you can actually kill right there before they get to the move. So Hex is better, much better against the Walrein. It's not as good against the Walrein. So you saw like how much energy I wasted there. I let it go because I felt like I don't care about that much about that energy. It's not actually accurate. Like I do care about that energy. Now I think I just let it go and then hope that they will try to catch at some point, which they did. So I should be baiting here. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't bait, because technically this is like their last healthy Pokemon, so there is no way they would call a bait, right? Now I'm just gonna farm it all the way down because I live another Frenzy, easy. But I need to shield the Superpower because it does more. Technically Superpower is single resisted while Frenzy Plant is double resisted. Now I just need 2 of these moves to KO, and I think this should be GG. Since they no shielded, there is no point of throwing. I can just Dragon Tail all the way down. Is this one extra speed? Okay, moving to the next battle. So, okay, you know what? I think, this is too crazy of speed. So the lead is pretty much neutral. So I swapped to Jellicent, which is a hard counter to Machamp. But here's the thing. If they swap in Machamp, always go Dragalge. Don't go Jellicent. Every time you see a Machamp, you go Dragalge. So I'm going to throw here the like on good timing, which is 3, which technically means they are at 5. So let's see. They no shielded. So this is, I'm pretty much in a good situation now. I'm up a shield and I 1 swap. Now I'm just gonna go to Drapion and throw the Sludge Bomb. If they no shield, I'm just gonna swap and Dragon Tail down. I can shield. I think they are 1 Dragon Tail away. So technically I can... Okay, they have Walrein. I need to land the nuke. I can let one of these go. And I still have a healthy Drapion, so technically I should be fine. Why did I bait here? Well, because I have 2 moves and pretty much they are shielding here. I don't know if I live this one. Yeah, now Drapion, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I need to sludge it here. So this is pretty much good counting on my end. Now I just need to Poison Sting the... what's that thing name? Dradigen or something. Again, Walrein always try to catch on 9, so they are at 6, so they need 3 more. So do 3, then catch. Why? Because they are going to bait on the EQ, right? 1, 2, 3. And I was planning to catch, but I didn't for some reason. We called the bait. So I'm going to do 1 then catch, because that's technically what they are supposed to throw. This is very good for me now. Oh, they have a Pelipper. I'm like, is this Gyarados? And it was Pelipper. Hex help you a lot here. So look at that. The bubble doesn't add up, but the Hex actually put it in Shadow Ball range. So if you land the Shadow Ball, I don't know why they baited. Like, what do they have? Blizzard? Yeah, they have the Hurricane. So look how much damage this does. So technically, if they no shield, I mean, it doesn't matter. Now I can go Dragalge and farm it all the way down. What could be a good replacement for Dragalge? That is not a placement. You either have it or you don't. You could run a hatched IV. I mean, pretty much Dragalge is fine with a hatched IV, so you don't need to be picky with the bulk. Good replacement for Shadow Drapion. I don't think the non-shadow is as good. Look at this matchup. So I shield here, and then I throw the crunch. We get the defensive drop, so the next crunch should definitely KO. I throw that before they get to the second Hydro Cannon. So you can use the non-shadow Drapion, but I don't like the non-shadow. I prefer the shadow much more. And now I'm just gonna go for the sludge because crunch doesn't KO here. But yeah, that's where like the shadow is much better because pretty much 2 crunches KO everything, while the non-shadow you need 3 crunches. Scrafty is in the shadow can win the 0. I am sure that the non-shadow also win the 0 because 3 moves KO. So I was debating like what's the best way to play, like maybe catching the second power-up punch on Dragalge, because technically Scrafty teams, they don't have a Charmer, right? They need answers to the fighters, what Dragalge usually beats. So it has to be a Jellicent, or this could be the team I used yesterday on my lives, on the YouTube video, like the one that the previous one to this one. Yesterday I used Scrafty, Jellicent with Walrein or a Charizard. So I was switching between those two. And he said if you don't have Charizard, you could run Walrein. If you don't have either, you can run also Ampharos. So if you saw those teams, Scrafty, Jellicent Core, sorry. And today we have a solid team that beats that one. So that's why you subscribe to this channel, so you can get all the new content. The camera is different today. My camera doesn't work for some reason. Sometimes it doesn't work, so I don't know how to fix it. So I'm using my phone camera as a camera. Now I blind swap here, and they have a Gengar. So I need to call a bait. Why? Because I need to call a bait. They called the bait, but it doesn't matter, to be honest, because they will shield this regardless. There is no way they don't shield this. I need to call a bait here. And even if they Shadow Ball, I'm actually fine. And the Dragon Tail should KO. I missed some bubbles, but it should be fine. And we win. Dragalge beating everything. So now moving into the Team Rocket Grunt, they have a Vulpix. So I'm actually interested. So I did around 25 Shadow Eyes, and I got, I think, 10 Vulpix. So I'm interested to know how many did you guys get. Please leave in the comment section below, because I checked the self website says at 30%, and I asked, it doesn't seem to be 30%. Some people are getting lucky, some people aren't lucky. So I got 10 and 25. Let me know in this comment section below how many Shadow Vulpix did you get out of the Ice Rockets you've done. So I deleted 4, so technically 25, and I got 10 Vulpix. Well, all of them were trash, so technically this is like getting 0, right? Okay, now I'm playing Ahmed Ziar, one of the best players in the world. He loves Swampert, Umbreon, G-Fisk, and his A9. So I'm like, I need to save this in the back in case he has his A9, because technically I lose to A9 in the back. So let's see. 3 Sludges KO, so I know that he needs 2 more Snarls for the next one, so I'm just gonna throw in CMP. Let's see. And that is the Swampert. He's gonna mudshot me down. Ahmed is a good player, so he's going for the full farm down, and I didn't expect him to shield that. So now I went to Dragalge, and I should have stayed in. I don't know why I was thinking that he's gonna use, like... So I went to Dragalge there because I know he always run A9 or Stunfisk in the back. So I'm like, I need to go Dragalge on that, even if it's a bad... even if it's a bad matchup, because I need the Jellicent to beat his backline, which it turns out it's the same thing. That's also lose to Jellicent. So I know I live there, and... because this is like why the XL is better. The lucky IV Jellicent dies there. So if you don't have a Jellicent, remember there is an event where Frelish will be spawning, and you can actually get a shiny one soon. I believe in like the next 4 or 5. It's the next event. So if you don't have a Jellicent, make sure to grab one, because it's one of the best PvP Pokemons, and it's good in every cup. So here I swap to Jellicent. Technically, my team is ABA weak to Escavalier. But the thing is, Dragalge is fine actually against Escavalier in the Ultra League because Dragalge is very bulky and the counter is resisted and it's non-stab, so technically it doesn't add up. Yes, Delran is super effective. This matchup is where you need Hex. Hex wins you the Gyarados matchup, where Bubble lose. So I'm just gonna farm him all the way down. And now I have million energy. So here's the thing. I need him to let it go. So 2 crunches from Shadow Drapion do enough damage to KO. It doesn't KO from the non-Shadow. So this is another matchup with the Shadow Drapion is much better. And now they have a Dragonite, and Dragalge can Dragon Tail Dragonite all the way down in the one shield. And you shield once and then you Dragon Tail all the way down. Moving to the next battle. Dragonite. How do I play this? As long as they don't catch, I throw Crunch. They caught. So now what do? I have to get to a move and then catch. Okay, no catch. Well, they still have to throw. Yo, see? They caught there, right there. I lived 2 Dark Pulses. This move doesn't KO, so there was no point of throwing it, but that's the downside of using Dragalge. If you use Aqua Tail, your energy is going to be wasted. So you have to use the other one. I shielded for no reason. It was like the main reason is just in case they bring in Dragonite, so I can like Dragon Tail it. They brought in G-Fisk, so I'm just gonna throw. Rock Slide doesn't KO. And why am I staying in? I should swap out, yeah. So here I need to shield this because it's a Dragonite in the back. So Earthquake is the move that does the most damage. I Shadow Balled here because I was expecting him to shield, so I'm like, I'm gonna outplay my opponent by throwing the move that he's not expecting, then Ice Beam him after, but he didn't shield. And this stuff we do like on stream sometimes to entertain chat. I'm like, look chat, I'm gonna throw the Shadow Ball to make him think that I don't have the Ice Beam, and then he's gonna shield. Then I'm gonna throw the Ice Beam because he think that I don't have it. Yeah, see, chat is like, what was that garbage play? Sometimes when you do like I don't know, you are 3 steps ahead of the opponent and the opponent 3 steps behind, it doesn't work, okay? You know, like King Ivy said, sometimes you do like a 500 IQ play, which doesn't work out because you only need a 1 IQ play. So that was a situation I did. Scrafty. Shadow Drapion wins the 0. So we don't shield here. Scrafty wins the 1 straight power-up punch. I mean, technically, Scrafty beat all the Toxic Dark and the 1 shield. He insta-threw here, so usually I try to get low, but to be honest, I should be catching the next power-up punch. He didn't throw anything because I guess they are just blindly shielding, and then I'm gonna swap because here's the thing. Scrafty teams they don't have an answer to Dragalge. They don't. Why? Because they need to cover the stuff that Scrafty are weak to. Scrafty weak to Charmants and Flyers. So they need like something like Jellicent. Believe me guys, I played Scrafty more than anyone. Scrafty teams are always weak to Dragalge. Ice Beam doesn't KO, but I shielded there because I was like, I need to shield one of those. And since he swapped, that means he has the Ice Beam. I can still live here. Okay, I blindly swapped for no reason. I could have just stayed in. But since he's staying in, that means he doesn't have an answer to this. So we should be good, right? And they have a Tentacle. So 2 Shadow Balls do not KO. But if you have Hex, 2 Shadow Balls will KO because the Hex damage will add up. Yeah, Smash King in chat. Where is Hex? Home Slice Henry, they can't hit you. Though, exactly, he has a point. They can't hit me with anything. So that was good counting on them. And now I think I misplayed here, but doesn't matter because they still need 1. And yeah, we get to the Aqua Tail and then we win this game. It took forever though, but yeah, the win is a win. I tried. Okay, Walrein. So remember, you always catch on the 9th Powder Snow if they don't throw. If they throw on 5, you catch on the second 5. So that's how you play it. 2, 3, 4. Okay. You catch there. This is good because now we're using Jellicent to bait out their backline. And here's the thing about this cup. Nothing in this cup appreciate energy from, like, even Scrafty. Jellicent can still get 2 ice beams. With the bubble damage, you can put Scrafty at like 20% HP. So everything has to respect Jellicent's energy. Look at that. It's supposed to be a hard answer to Jellicent, right? But because we have energy lead, we were able to get some damage, and we forced them to shield. So now I go to Gulch, and if they insta-throw like that, see, they insta-throw, which mean this is the Thunder Punch, because they blind through, right? So I'm just gonna farm all the way down. This is another Thunder Punch. Could be Brutal Swing as well. Okay, it was Brutal Swing. And it's a Charizard in the back. All I need is just throw these crunches. And yeah, feel free to guys to check my live stream at twitch.tv/YasserAlid, where I stream my live stream battles, then I edit them to post them on YouTube. Okay, especially when I have like a team where I get like lots of positive battles. Shielding here is fine because I need to get his last shield, technically. And I need the debuff here. If I don't get it, it's fine. It's not the end of the world. Now, that was a CMP, which is great. Now I can just swap and outrage him. Yeah. We shield. We throw the move. I need to get a shiny Jellicent, but they are available in the game. Shadow Drapion into Dragonite. Last time they caught the move. This time I'm throwing on 6, which is a CMP, and they won CMP. I'm fine with that. Shielding here is fine because I can get to 2 moves before them, and Crunch does a lot, especially from Shadow on Shadow. They no shield. What does that mean? That means I'm just gonna blind swap and get a Dragon Tail damage. So basically that Dragonite is dead and has nothing to do unless they can use it into catching something. Okay, Dragon Claw here doesn't do that much damage. So I'm gonna do 1 then throw. Okay, no, this was a CMP. I don't need this anymore, to be honest. Because you know what's gonna happen? I'm gonna bubble him all the way down. If you're on Hex, you need Bubble Beam. If you're on Bubble, you need the Ice Beam, to be honest. Even though Bubble Shadow Ball still doesn't beat G-Fisk. That's the good... Here's the thing. Lucky IV Jellicent cannot tank the energy from Charizard very well. But, okay, here my win con is going straight Sludge, Crunch. Because if they no-shield the Crunch, I just lose. And they no-shielded, so now they are in 1 bubble range. So all I need is just to tap and do some fast moves. Okay, moving into the next battle, which is, I think, the last one. A9 lead. So here, I don't insta-throw because I expect them to catch. I threw my energy here. There was no point of doing that. I could have just swap to Dragalge and just win this. Or swap to Jellicent. But here's the thing. Always... If they swap into something that Dragalge beat, always swap Dragalge over Jellicent, because Jellicent is more generalist and it has more positive matchups against everything in the meta, where like Dragalge is a dragon and dragon can easily get RPS'd by a steel or by a fairy Pokemon. So whenever you see something that loses to both Dragalge and Jellicent, you go Dragalge. Okay. Let's see. They swapped into Auroras. Maybe they are... And now I'm just swapping to the Jellicent. So here's the thing. Against Auroras, you're supposed to shield the second Meteor Beam, because Meteor Beam boosts their attack. I shielded because I'm like, what if they bait me on the second one? So I'm like, okay, you know what? Let's just shield. But yeah, ideally, you don't want to shield the first one. Opponent tried to call a bait, I guess. But here's the thing. If you're on Bubble Beam, technically, you don't have a bait move. Yeah. And this is the team. Feel free to use it. And if you used it, let me know in the comment section below. How did you do with it? And sorry, there is not a placement for Dragalge. You can use a Lucky IV if you want. You can use a Hatched IV. You can use pretty much anyone you want, because the matchups you win with the Dragalge, you still win with like regardless of your IV. Jellicent, no replacement for the Jellicent. You can use a Swampert, I guess. Swampert is actually a fine replacement for Jellicent. Shadow Drapion, you can use non-shadow, but it won't perform as this team. This team is basically like I built it based on the stuff that I used and I performed the best. So yeah, this is the team. Feel free to use it. And this is the end of the video. If you like the video, make sure you leave a like. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, because 75 of my viewers are non-subs. So please consider subscribing to help this channel to grow. And yeah, feel free to check my live stream at twitch.tv/YasserAlid and see you in the next video. Peace.